Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. JC here with another video on Action Taimanin. Today we're going to be checking how to use Felicia. But before we start, don't forget to leave a like, share and subscribe. Also, comment on what other builds you know that you can use with this character and what kind of content you want to check next. So, Felicia, as you can see, is an assist type demon character. Assist type, it's kind of weak on the support department. It does have a couple of strong supporters that help assist, but in general there aren't that many assist specific supporters. But Demon is one that has a ton of supporters that support this that enhance this type. So let's see. My Felicia is level 87, as you can see, she's maxed out. And let's check the skills super quickly. Starting with 7 health. 7 health is the launching attack. It's a hold attack during normal attacks. Perform an airborne attack by lifting an enemy and slashing it continuously. It is, I don't know how to say. It's kind of a disc, a vertical disc that is going to attack in front and behind. With 1 green, reduces skill cooldown by 20%. 1 blue increases damage by 25%. 1 red knocks down the enemy hit by the falling attack. I mean, it's whatever. It is a launching attack. Those aren't that good, unfortunately. I wish that these were more viable, but with super armor they are not. Then we have Evil Strange. So for Evil Strange, this is gonna be the all blue skill. It's a whole debate, and it says step backs and disperse demonic energy within a certain area. It says demonic energy, but it's more like blood. Well, with 1 blue, recharges 5% of particles. With 2 blue, mark enemies with blood. And with 3 blue, you're going to increase critical rate by 50%. So, the only thing that really matters about this skill is the fact that you're going to mark the enemy. Mark is probably the strongest debuff in the game, since you're able to recover HP as you hit the enemy, which is marked. So it is great, and that's why Felicia is known for her blue builds more than anything. I mean, red and green also work, and they're pretty good too, but the ability to recover HP with a debuff is amazing. Then we have Vampiric Zone. Vampiric Zone also gives a mark. It says that it's an evade immediately before an attack. So that means it's the perfect evade. During an extreme dodge, mark nearby enemies with blood for 6 seconds. Well, 6 seconds isn't that much. But listen to this. 2 green are going to increase the duration of the blood mark by 50%. So it's going to last 9 seconds. And that's half the cooldown. You're only going to wait 9 seconds until you can use this again and recover your HP. So it's pretty good on green. Blue increases attack range by 50%. You may think that's pretty dumb, but it's actually good, especially on stages with multiple enemies. Because if you do AoE attacks, let's say that you're using... Evil Strange is not a good example. It's because I'm just starting. But let's say that you're using another character on VR and you just mark a bunch of enemies. And your other character is going to attack with a big AoE, like Micah, let's say, with the carpet bombing or one of those good attacks with great AoE. It's going to receive HP healing from all those enemies. So increasing the range is not as bad as you may think. It is pretty useful. And red is also very good, but it is offensive focus. Increases critical rate by 20% for 10 seconds. Nice critical, nice duration. It is pretty good. You want to use this on offensive builds, red offensive builds. It can work on mixed builds, yes, because it's only on 2 colors. And let's check the next one. Blood Sight is going to be dash attack. And this one charges at the enemy, swings the sight, and strikes with a shadow blade. So, this one procs on the main. The effects activate on the main. With 1 green, you're going to restore HP by 5% of damage taken. With 1 blue, with the main blue, is going to make an additional attack. When striking with the scythe, an additional hit with an exploding shadow blade. Add an additional attack. So, as you can see, you're going to dash forward and you smash the scythe into the ground. And when it hits, then it's going to do something like retracting it, and it's going to do an explosion. It is pretty good to deal damage. And besides, blue really needs the damage because it already has good means of inflicting mark. And with red, increases speed by 15% for 10 seconds. Nice, nice. I like the big duration, and also the fact that it's more than 10%. 10% is acceptable as any buff, but when it starts to get beyond that, it's when you really feel the difference between having that buff and not having it. So, the next one is a basic enhancer called Vampire's Blood. This enhances normal attacks by performing additional attacks with demonic power. With 1 supporter, increases attack speed by 5%. With 2 supporters, further increases speed by an additional 10%. And with 3, you're going to increase the particle charge amount by 50%. Normal stuff, but this instead of giving you attack, is going to give you speed, which is pretty good because Felicia is prone to getting interrupted. She's easily interrupted, so getting that attack speed is super great so that you can finish your combos before you get interrupted. And then Rendering Sight. Rendering Sight, it's immediately after an attack you have to evade. Performs an additional attack right after the last attack. Performs a ranged attack by throwing a shadow blade when a set effect is applied. So it is good, but depends on the color. Unfortunately, this activates on 3 of the same color, so it is a little bit restrictive. Yes, you can use it on mix, but you know the performance of this skill is going to be diminished if you don't use the effects. And with 3 green, is the shadow blade tracks the enemy. The shadow blade, if I'm not mistaken, is something like this. So that's going to track the enemy. With 3 green, reduces damage taken by 20% for 5 seconds. This is the most important one, because blue is already able to do tanky builds, and with this, you're gonna do super good because you do damage and also you increase your survivability. It's great. And with red, increases skill damage by 25%. I mean, it is an option to use. Not the greatest, it's not like a busted effect, but I mean, more damage, it's fine. Then we have Orochinagi. Orochinagi is the all red. It shares command with Evil Strange, but it doesn't really matter because it's this is blue and this is red. So, performs an area attack by swinging her scythe. The area of effect naturally is kind of big, and with the effects it's going to be even bigger. Set 1 red, decreases the speed of the enemies that got hit by 10% for 10 seconds. A nice duration, but kind of percentage. 10% is not that great, but it's something and it's noticeable. And besides, it's a debuff. You may need debuffs to activate the effect, so it's great. Then, increase attack range by 50% with 2 red. That's, you may think it's pretty dumb, but consider this. The AoE is already big, and you're gonna make it 50% bigger. The AoE of this attack is huge. Huge, I tell you. It's, I mean, they have to be like super far away for you not to hit them with this skill when at 2 red. And with 3 red, increases critical damage by 250%. That's amazing. Red already focuses on damage, and this skill has the damage increase on critical, and it's the big one, so it's great. Really, really great. Though you need to build this properly, you need the right numbers on the equipment, because you really need a high critical rate. If you don't crit, you're not gonna see the damage. Then we have a Shadow Blade. Honestly, I think I didn't use Shadow Blade in the builds. I'll check, but this is probably, well, in my opinion, the weakest of the skills. And this comes with problems because this is a character with double basic enhancers. That's not great. If I had to change something about the character, I would remove this skill and ask Grimoire to rework it or put something different. Let this be like it is. It doesn't need anything. The speed is good. It doesn't need attack damage. I mean, if they want to add attack damage, that would be great, but I think it will be too busted. I just want them to keep it like this. And this, change it or remove it. But even so, let's check what it does. Enhance normal attacks by changing the last attack to a range attack that throws a Shadow Blade. With one supporter, increases damage by 10%. With two, increases damage by an additional 20%. And with three, the particle charge amount is increased by 50%. Normal stuff, it's a mixed attack between melee and range, so I don't like that. And as I tell you, it's kind of the weakest of the two basic enhancer, in my opinion. If I sound funny, it's because I'm a little bit sick, so sorry about that. And let's continue with Slaying Spree. Slaying Spree is the all green skill. It's a hold attack, and it says performs a range attack by jumping on the spot and throwing a Shadow Blade that tracks the enemy. This is really good. With one green, only one green, decreases the speed of the enemy that got hit by 30% for 15 seconds. Busted. Please, Grimoire, don't touch this. It's perfect as it is. 30% is a big number, and 15 seconds is a long duration. It is amazing. Then, with 2 green, her skill motion changes, and she throws 2 more Shadow Blades. That's great. That's a great effect. And the last one. Set 3, increase damage by 150%. That's good, really good. I like this. This is a quick mention. This and this work on mixed builds. This one does not work on mixed builds. I mean, you can use it, yes, but the most important effect is probably the critical damage increase. While on these two, the most important effect of this one is Mark, and the most important effect of this one is the speed reduction. So these are very viable for mixed builds, and this one is not. Last, we have the Awakening skill, the one that you get at level 81. That is Sanguine Smash. I don't know how to say this word, guys. Sorry, Sanguíneo in Spanish, but God, I don't know how to pronounce this. Smash. Immediately after an enemy attack, evade. So usually I don't like this, but Felicia just has enough HP recovery, so it doesn't really matter that this is the activation condition. It's usable and it's pretty good. Counters attacks by dispersing demonic energy and on an approaching enemy. 2 green, reduce the defense of the enemy that got hit by 30% for 10 seconds. Busted in green. Busted. 30% is a big amount of a defense reduction. And 10 seconds is a decent duration. It's pretty good. On blue, makes the target groggy. That's weak. I mean, usable but weak. Especially usable on PvP, I guess. And the last one. Reduce the enemy's damage by 20% for 10 seconds with 2 red. The weakest. Damage reduction. It is not as good unless you are fighting an enemy with absurd damage. And if that's the case, you don't want to take a hit, so it is not precisely the best effect for this skill. But anyways, it is a good skill on green. So the first thing, I unfortunately don't have enough space. I use these 3 slots on this character, so I had to take pictures. And we're gonna start with this. We're gonna start with red using Vampiric Zone, Orochi and Bloodsight. So what's the combo? The combo is to Bloodsight, then very quickly use Vampiric Zone and Orochi, or Vampiric Zone, Bloodsight, Orochi. We unfortunately there are no more builds for red because I mean I just mentioned why this is bad. This is innately bad. The other ones I cannot use in red. These ones are not exactly good on this kind of build, and this doesn't provide too much. I mean, you can use it instead of Bloodside, but it's, I mean, you prefer the buff, right? So, as much as I hate it, it's very limited on some colors what Felicia can do. Basically, red. It is like one build for red, and that's it. So, yeah, I'm gonna be using this weapon. If I'm not mistaken, it says increases damage of the skill. When it says the skill, I think it refers to Evil Strange, and I'm not using Evil Strange. So it shouldn't affect my performance for the most part. I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe Gremory mistranslate this and it's all skills. That would be busted, but I don't think so. It's 40%, it's too much. Obviously, we're using Anti-Demon Magatamas for Tower 75. I have it 5 out of 5 plus 14. This one is 10 out of 10 plus 10, 5 out of 5. Whatever Magatamas here. So let's test this super quickly. You're gonna see that this is amazing. Oh, I missed the supporters, right? Well, we can check it in just a moment. I'm using Anna Rose. And that is not the combo. Don't do that. Don't do it like I just did. Come on. Hit me. Come on. Do something, guys. Hit. Oh my god, why won't you? You know what? Just die already. Why won't you hit me? Okay. I do have Vampiric Sun, and it's not working. Maybe I'm evading too much. So, I'm gonna do the combo. First I evade. I do a perfect evade. Wait. Perfect evade. Then dash attack. Then hold. And look at that damage. They are almost dead. They are dead. Preferably you want to activate that while you have the... I'm just waiting. Yeah, like this. You look at that damage, it's obscene, absurd, amazing. The important thing about this is that you want to have that crit buff, and you're gonna recover whatever amount of HP you're losing as long as you crit with Orochimaru. It's amazing. The supporters are Anna Rose, pretty good supporter, especially because it increases your critical rate and your HP. I do not take advantage of the active. You can put it in the sub slot if you want. Baretta because it increases damage and critical damage, and Shirayuki because Felicia is a demon. You can change this for many different characters, for many different supporters in red. Let's see. You can use, of course, Homura. You can use... in case you need to reduce the damage because they're killing you. For human and for machine, you have Sharia and Major, but that's just in case. Usually you don't want that, but let's just say that you're made out of paper and you need it. You can use Lina, but Lina is niche. She only works against demons. And if you don't have her maxed out and you are fighting against demons, it's preferably to use someone like Stella. I would not recommend to use Susune because you only have one debuff in the form of the mark. Yes, you usually hit them with the mark and such, but I do not recommend this one. Yukina is also good. New Year Shiranui is also good. Let's see. Which other one? Yeah, that's about it. Those are kind of the supports that you want to use on red. Now, let's go with this green. For this green, what are we doing? First, we need to check the skills. We're going to use Vampiric Zone to recover HP, obviously. We're using Slaying Spree to well, because it's a green build, and we want to debuff the enemies a ton. And we want to use Sanguine Smash. So, Sanguine... Smash! You want to use Smash. So, what we're going to do is that we're going to use Vampiric Zone. Then we do the counter with Smash. And then we use Slaying Spree. Okay? And why is it important? So that Slaying Spree deals more damage. And you recover HP at the same time. But what really matters is using New Year Heaviko. Because you're going to poison the enemy. And you consistently deal damage. You deal even more damage. You could go for full crit if you want. I'm just abusing the capability of Heaviko in this specific stage. In fact, if you wanted to go mix, because you don't need to go like pure, you can use Minasaki to abuse that poison. Or you can use Susune to abuse that perma debuff, because the poison is kind of a perma debuff. It's super great. I'm using this to increase damage. But you can use things like the Founding 3. You can use Saika. If you're on BR, you can use Misaki. What else? You can use Akiyama Rinko. In BR, you can also go for Hisui to get a little bit more defense, because you are playing as a debuffer more than a damage dealer here, because these are not going to work on BR. She is, but the crit ones are not. So let's test this one. It is pretty fun, I gotta say. I really like this one. I love abusing Heaviko's bleed. So first I evade, then I take a hit. Come on. But done? Yes. And now, you see how I recover HP? It took a while for me to do that, but... Okay, one. Come on. There. And now, that's the combo, guys. That's the combo. Super cool. Super great. One more time. Come on. There. Excellent. I just need to evade. And I do my attack. And look at the amount of HP recovery that I have. It's amazing. It's great. Okay. I do this. I inflict the debuff. I hit with this. And easy peasy. Yep. Super, super good. I like this build for damage and debuffs. It is pretty good. You can go defensive with this build if you want. It's viable. And now, it's time to check my phone so that I can see the other builds. Wait a moment, I have to go here to the pictures and I have to move backwards to see Felicia's builds. Starting with this one. So we are going to use a basic build. For this one, we're going to use Vampire's Blood, Vampiric Zone, and Bloodside. Bloodside and Vampiric Zone are your means of survivability. And for this build, we're going to do a ton of basic attacks. So we're going to go with Chaotic Noah Brown. Why do you need her? Mainly for two things. She's going to increase your speed, which works perfectly with your basic enhancer. And number two, because she's going to give you a big attack buff with super armor. You really need that if you're going to use basic attacks with Felicia. And I'm going to be using the two melee supporters. Where are you? Where are you? Yeah. There we go. Yep. This is for HP recovery, and this too. So, pretty simple build. Unfortunately, you are over reliant on the active of your supporter on a stage like this with multiple bosses. But if you're fighting or multiple enemies with super armor, but if you're fighting one single enemy with super armor, you can easily just avoid the attacks and do your basic combos. It is no problem in those cases. Especially on BR where they can just target someone else. And I can summon my familiar. Nice. Adorable, isn't it? So yeah. Dash attack. Oh, come on. I didn't hit it. Well, whatever. It is fine. As you can see, my basics are extremely fast because of the combination of the basic enhancer and the chaotic Noah's supporter. Yeah, that's the name. So here you want to do this, and then you start attacking as fast as you can those bosses, because if you don't kill them quickly, you're going to have to wait for the active again. Oh no. So yeah, that's the merit about this specific build. Disadvantage, I don't want to use my ulti, so yeah. So you're not gonna see me do much. I'm going to have to evade until I have the active once more, and I'll fish for those side attacks. What's the name? Blood sights. Yes. It is unfortunate, but you have the HP recovery with blood sight, so it's no problem. Okay, 2, 1, and go. Come on. Yes. Come on, that damage. Yes. Excellent. Now, she is down. Everyone's down. When you have one enemy, it's no problem to avoid the attacks. Well, except if they are ranged, you know? Ranged attackers are always a hassle. And Rinko. And Sakura. Those three are really tough. Well, ranged attackers and those two melee attackers. Let's see. So that was the other green. I didn't change the custom. So the next one is going to be with Bunny, because I have to showcase, I want to showcase the other customs. Let's see. Oh no, the next one is not going to be that one. It's going to be limited, so we go with the limited custom. This one is going to be blue. It's probably one of her best blue. We're going to be using, obviously, Evil Strange, along with Blood Sight and Rendering Sight. You can use Vampiric Zone, yes, it is pretty good. But here, I don't need it. So I'm going to be using Rendering Sight to have more damage. So basically, what you need is going to be, obviously, your Felicia. This Felicia gives a ton of damage to assist type characters. It is generic good because it increases skill damage by 30%, but with assist type characters it's even better. It also gives you HP recovery on the main and reduces damage taken when healed. And because of that, we're gonna be using Kirara, which gives us an HP restoration, a continuous HP restoration and damage increase on demons. Pretty good. And the last one is going to be Onigumo. You can use different things like Heaviko, maybe, what else? If you don't have it, if you're on BR, you can use Arabella. If you don't have anything buried, you can use Akina, just to be tankier. But I'm going with this. I'm tanky enough as I am with this. So the combo obviously is going to be Evil Strange into Blood Sight and Rendering Sight. Well, technically you can do this. Evil Strange, Rendering Sight, Blood Sight, Rendering Sight. Because Rendering Sight is only 3 seconds cooldown. So that would be the best combo. But if you forget about it, it's not a big deal. So let's see. And besides, I think I'm gonna kill everything with this. You see? It is pretty busted. Because of my of the damage increase that I have like really strong damage increase with these supporters. Okay, first I have to wait for them to gather, and then I do this, and this and this. Yes, that's the combo, guys. That's the combo. And I just wait a little bit more, and I repeat. You see? Amazing damage reduction. Another reason why you want to use that follow-up attack is because of the damage reduction that it provides. It is really good. And if I'm not mistaken, rendering site, the duration is 5 seconds and the cooldown is 3 seconds. So basically, you can stack it for 2 seconds. It is great. It is amazing. Let's see. Another one. Usually you want to stack it, but you just saw that I had the two of them. Let's see. The next one is gonna be Blue Tank. And now I'm gonna use Bunny. For Blue Tank, I mean, you know that without a doubt this is great for Blue Tank. And this is also great for Blue Tank. You can make combinations with this if you have them available. But let's say that you're completely F2P. I'm gonna use Akina. I'm gonna use Sakuya. Sakuya is great. Reduces damage taken by demon type characters by 30%. It's amazing. And in fact, I think I'm gonna go Sakuya main because the effect is better. Reduces speed and increases speed. That's amazing. Reduces the enemy's speed by 30%. And I told you that that's a big number and it's pretty good. And increases yours by 20%. So that's nice. And here, since my Felicia is already pretty strong, I'm going to be using this one, Heaviko, because I can. I mean, Heaviko is going to increase damage dealt by demon type characters by 12% and reduce the damage taken by 12%. So that's amazing. On this one, let me check. Evil Strange is... oh, this one. I mean, just cause. You can use it, but it is not the best option to use Smash. And rendering this one. Yeah, because you got an AoE, another AoE, follow-up attack, and this is going to give me defense increase. So it is great. Wait a moment. Another benefit of this, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, it's the short cooldown. That's the main benefit of using this one, because you have a short cooldown. So you do this and then you use rendering sight, and you're gonna have constant damage reduction. That's the reason why I decided to go with that skill, even though I don't like it too much. So, yeah, I mean, even so, but the performance is, okay. Okay, just for this one. Unfortunately, I have, if I'm not mistaken, I'm going to change the weapons. If I'm not mistaken, all of these are anti-demon, but as long as they are in the sub-slot, they don't affect. They are just whatever Magatamas. These are not going to enhance my performance in any way. I am deciding to change this because now that we are not doing the limited one, and I'm using Evil Strange, this is going to increase my damage too much, so I'm going to change it for this, even though I'm losing general damage. Oh my god, I need to sneeze. Sorry for being sick. Okay, so Evil Strange, just to have something more realistic. Can I, now that I think about it, not all attacks can be performed with a follow-up attack. So gather, 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 and follow-up attack, and come on, attack me. No, I cannot do a follow-up attack with the counter. Sorry, guys. I thought I could. Yeah, because I don't have the prompt to do the follow-up attack. Usually those follow-up attacks have a kind of glimpse or some kind of light, but I don't have that available there. So also, I'm going to use the active. I usually don't, but this is slow. That's why I'm using the active. It is pretty good. So as you can see, I'm pretty tanky. I have nothing to worry about. And the follow-up attack also works on... Oh no! On basic attacks. So if you finish your basic attack combo, you can use your follow-up attack. Oh, twice! Twice they interrupt me. Okay. I really hate those balls. Those lightning balls. Let's see. There. Okay. There. Okay. Yeah, they are not going to kill me, even if I underperform. Because I just have too much HP recovery and damage reduction. And I'm not using my ulti nor my active. Well, I use the active ones, but I could get more control with it. So yeah, distance and oh, come on. Well, at least it does that attack. Well, I have to reposition myself because you have that. And there. What Rinko is at 500, right? And besides, the more HP I'm missing, the more HP Akina is going to recover for me. So that's not a problem. And they are both dead, so I can focus on Yuki now. So I'm just going to do this and do this and... Okay. Yeah. You see? No problem at all. But use the active on Sakuya. It's pretty good. Oh, golly. Let's see. The next one. Ooh, we start with mix. Unfortunately, I don't have that many builds on pure colors. But I do have some mixed builds that you're going to enjoy. Let's go with, let me check what. Ooh, this one. The friendship outfit. It is pretty good. I like it. Nice outfit. So for this, we're going to use... let me check. Vampiric Zone. Vampiric Zone. Because we want the blood mark. We're gonna use Spree. And we're gonna use Smash. So, well, it's basically the same as green, if I'm not mistaken. But, what are we doing? We are abusing damage. So, we're using this along with this and double critical, no, and this to increase my critical rate. There, Suruga. Suruga, New Year, Hebiko, and New Year. New Year, Felicia. The New Year, yeah. New Year supporters. So, what are the benefits of using this? You have HP recovery, a huge amount of damage reduction with this supporter on the main. Three good things to take into consideration. And I'm going to change this back. Here I'm gonna be using, as I mentioned, Vampiric Zone, and it has increased duration, so that's going to recover my HP. And Smash, yeah, it is basically the same. It is the same as green. As I mentioned, you can use it on mix, and I'm just going to show you how good it is on mix. Let's say that you want to deal more damage. You can change Hebiko and not rely on the what's the name? The poison. So you know, I do this and I do this, and they are destroyed. Wow, super hard, right? First, I need to evade, and then I do this, and I recover all my HP. Thank you. It is busted, guys. This character is busted. I mean, most characters are if you know how to use them, but some characters do underperform depending on the circumstances. Okay, now with the defense reduction, let's destroy them while recovering a ton of HP. Yeah, great. So, nice. And now, one more time. Oh, come on. That didn't work. Okay, now I have to. With the counter. They died with the counter. No. That's too busted. Yeah. Go after Yuki. Okay. Yeah, here you go. And it would have died with the blood, with the poison. So yeah, pretty good. As I mentioned, you can change this one for Misaki. It also works pretty well. So yeah, that's another thing to take into consideration. Going thematic with the Oni, I'm gonna keep this and I'm gonna go red. For this, I'm going to go for the most amount of damage that I can. So the best supporters that I can equip are going to be Lina. This gives me like 42% damage, and Yukina, which gives me 40% damage. 40 Yukina on skills. So unfortunately, there's not going to be a critical rate increase on the supporter parts. But we don't need it because we're not using Orochinagi. We're using Rendering Sight. We're using... wait a moment. Vampiric Sun, Rendering Sight, and... where is this one? Blood Sight. So, what's this supposed to do? You recover HP with this and also gain critical rate. You... where is the other one? Here. This one is only damage. So let me explain what's the problem here. This is not viable. This doesn't have the good effect because it's not blue. This doesn't have the good effect because it needs 3. This doesn't have any effect, so not usable. This has the bad effect, so not usable. You could go with basics, but this is not focused on basics. That's why we're using rendering, even though it doesn't have any good effect, because it's just a damaging skill. So for this build, I'm going to increase my critical rate, and I'm going to deal the most amount of damage with this. And my HP recovery comes from Vampiric Sun, so that's about it. That's why I'm putting a lot of skill damage, just to increase the damage of Rendering Sight, because it counts as a skill, even if it doesn't have the active. and Blood Sight. Blood Sight, the strongest damage comes from blue. That's why I'm focusing on damage. So, I almost forgot. Let's go with Oni, since it's the season of the Oni. You're gonna see that it is pretty strong, despite what you may think about the one of the skills not having the effects. So yeah, so I just the combo, of course, if I can, just move there, evade, then dash attack, and the follow up with the evade. As simple as that. The dash attack, the Blood Sight, is pretty strong. Unfortunately, my basics aren't that strong, but that's something to keep in mind. Okay, there. Blood Sight. And the follow-up attack. Unfortunately, I was kind of far away. But look at the damage. It's amazing. It's really good for a non-pure color skill. And that's the idea. We increase the critical rate to abuse the damage. Nice. And in case of an emergency, I can use my active. Come on, Vampiric Zone. There. Yeah, unfortunately, a disadvantage of this build is that you rely too much on the cooldown. And it's like not short, not super long, but not short cooldowns on those skills. So evade, 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 evade. Come on, there. There, look at the damage. Nice. Okay. And Blood Sight's cooldown is shorter than Vampiric Zone. That's another disadvantage. So, come on. Evade, evade. One evade. Come on, there. Wow, nice, 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 nice. Okay. Come on, there. Nice, nice damage. Oh, almost, almost. Ah! They don't let me. Yeah, I don't like this build too much because I have to wait for the skills a lot. For every single skill to do the combo. But it is viable if that's what you can build. Yeah, you just saw that. I had no problems with HP recovery thanks to Vampiric Zone. And thanks to the damage of Blood Sight. Nice. The next one is going to be... Ooh. This is going to be red and green. It's going to be critical. So... Let's see. I'm gonna use this one because it's also thematic. We're getting this soon. Well, not soon, in a month or so. Let's see. The skills are going to be. Let me check. Blood Sight, yes. Vampiric Zone, yes. Rendering, no. It's gonna be Smash. So we're gonna be using 2 green in the form of Kaoru. Kaoru, yes. Originally, I used Annie Rose on the main, and I think the name is Kana on the Akane on the sub slot. But I decided that I'm going to change that. I'm going to go for Suruga, and I'm going to go for another one that is pretty good on red for crit. Let's go with Vareta to increase the damage. That's gonna be fun. So, what's the idea here? Here, obviously you want to use your blood mark to recover HP, but it's not as important, it's just HP recovery. You want to increase your speed, and this is your main damaging skill again, but you are going to use it after Smash. So you do Vampiric Zone, Smash, and then Blood Sight. And that's gonna destroy the enemies, you're gonna see. Because of the amount of critical that I have here and the huge damage, defense reduction. So, there. Yeah, pretty easy. I mean, if you want to go with the other combination of Akane and... what's the name? Akane and a Rose, it is viable. It is good. You're gonna have more consistent crits. And there we go. Nice. So again, I just move and I do this. Oh, come on. Get away. Oh, I miss by a little. There. Nice, 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 nice. Ah, nice. I hit Rinko, so that's great. Okay, almost done, almost done. So I just need a couple more hits. Yeah, great. You see just how good that skill in green is? The counter is amazing. And usually I hate the counters, but due to Felicia's HP recovery, it's viable. Come on, come on. Just hit me. There. And now... Oh! There. But I didn't crit. Lol. Okay. Breathe. Oh, God. So, now... Do we have more? Let's see. One more. Only one more. Let me check. This is a combination of green with red. So for this one, I am using Corporate Ingrid here. Corporate Warrior Ingrid. Along with Barretta. Barretta for red. Because as you can see, critical. An area that increases my damage. Critical and generic damage. And Lina. Because it's the biggest damage that I can get for this specific stage. Remember, Lina is going to be suboptimal in most stages. It is good for stages with demons, but if not, it's suboptimal because Stella gives you more damage. So, let's see. Do I have like something else? Let's go with Bathrobe. I usually don't, but I guess. And the skills are going to be Vampiric Zone to get critical rate. Oh, it's another basic, so this one. And Blood Sight. So what's the deal here? Let's see. As you can see, we have a lot of critical here. And a ton of damage here. The idea is that you break the super armor, if possible, with this. And then you increase... Well, this is the combo. Evade, do normal attacks, and if you need to recover HP, you use Blood Sight. You naturally recover HP with this. In fact, this is what I designed, but I'm gonna change it. Why? A Blood Sight, I'm going to change it for Slaying Spree. I'm going to do that because I can. Because the only important effect... I mean, the change in motion is also important, but the ability to reduce the speed of the enemy is going to give me enough control to do more basics. So, if you want more consistency on the HP department, and if you are fighting one boss, I suggest you use Blood Sight. But against multiple enemies with super armor, it is better to use this in this specific build. So let's try it. I think it's gonna perform better than that one time that I tested it, because I am facing multiple enemies and the control is better on those stages. So like this and like this. Let's see. Yeah, pretty good, right? It allows me to do my basic attacks. Okay, come on, come on. And for those who don't know, the aura surrounding me is going to increase the damage and also deal damage. So that's why I'm using Corporate Ygritte, while also giving me a little bit of damage reduction. Okay. There. I move. I use my skill. And I do basic attacks. If possible, that is. Well, I don't need to. I mean, I can only do those when their super armor is down. Come on. There. Nice. Crit again. Okay, okay, they got me. But fortunately, I was able to launch that. So, there. And now... Nice. Nice, 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 nice. Yeah, I mean, I prefer to go with the basics here, but I'm facing too many enemies to do that. If it was one enemy, it would be easier. There we go. Okay. Okay, no! It's so difficult to do my basics when there are too many. Oops, I got interrupted. Well, but just being around them is dealing damage. There. I go back and I throw this. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Go back. Throw. Yes, 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 yes. Oh, come on. If one has the super armor down, the other one doesn't. Well, you saw that it works. Depending on what kind of stage you're facing, with one enemy or multiple enemies, you're going to change that depending on what you want. The slow is always appreciated, especially with that long duration, the tracking effect and everything. So Slaying Priest is very viable, but if you want more HP recovery because you need it for some reason, then Bloodsight is also viable, but it's best when facing one enemy, okay? And if I'm not mistaken, that's all. That's all the builds. Easy, right? Pretty good character. Very quickly. I usually do those supporters that I don't have, but I'm gonna stop doing that. You know what she wants. She wants damage, she wants to be tanky, she wants critical, she wants debuffs. Actually, she works with most of the supporters. Obviously, there are some exceptions. Supporters that are restrictive to their function, like only damage, only melee. Melee works for the most part. Range, those that are focused on range don't, because she has two skills that are range. Well, no, she has more, but it is more a melee attacker than a range attacker. So generic damage is best. Let's see. Let's go with the weapons. For the weapons, we have Felicia. Come on. Okay, like this. So we have the pack weapon, which as always is trash. What a surprise. We have this one, which makes the enemy groggy and increases damage to stun enemies or groggy enemies. You know, strong. This one increases damage dealt to enemies with debuffs by 30%. So it is actually pretty good for every other build that is not using Evil Strange. Super good. And also inflicts a debuff. which is nice. And you know, is the activation condition for certain things. Oh, red looks really good. I'm gonna get at least one. So, the sights for PvP, for Arena, the weapon for Arena. Momochi's weapon. Well, I mean, yeah, for green it's nice, and for red it also works. I mean, yeah, it is a viable weapon, but as usual, this drops when doing VR. Then we have the pack weapon, which, as you saw, it's very strong. It is good against buffed enemies, but there aren't that many buffed enemies, and you can use this on what's the name, on Arena, but Felicia isn't like well known for being an arena specialist, a PvP specialist. So I mean, it's usable. I won't deny it. But the main appeal is increasing the damage of Evil Strange. It makes that skill viable as a damaging skill. She has her newly added snake weapon. As I always say, these are better for range attackers, not for melee attackers, because of the Slayer and active combo that they can do. It has poor stats, but it comes with a good effect on the particle charge increase. I do not recommend this one, but you can use it if you're beginning. And that's it for the weapons, basically. So we're not done, actually. I'm gonna explain, because I'm not going to show you, but I'm going to explain some builds that I use for PvP. For PvP, for VR. Yeah. No, if I'm not mistaken, I'm gonna use this. So, what do I do usually in VR? I use it as a tank for Queen Arachne. I go with max HP. I go with whatever defensive. I use a mixture using Evil Strange, Blood Sight for HP recovery, and Vampiric Zone, because I want to constantly inflict the mark on the enemy of VR. So whenever one is down, the other is going to be active. That's great. And what are my supporters? There's different combinations. I can use Ingrid to increase the damage of the other characters while gaining damage reduction. I can use Sakuya. I can use Felicia. We can use, what else? Arabella, Akina. Yes, Kirara. What else? Which one? If I had Hebiko would be viable, like more copies, I mean. This Susune, Kamiki Susune, can also work, but the damage reduction is not big enough, in my opinion. And in case of red, you can use Hebiko, because you're going to constantly debuff the enemy and the damage over time is going to be appreciated, but it gives more value if you're going damage, so I don't recommend it as much. You can use the 3 Founding, you can use Misaki just for the heal and damage. You can use, let me check. Obviously, Chaotic Noah Brown, you saw that works. You can use Hisui. Basically, Hisui. Hisui is kind of the best. It depends whether you're using it or not. And let's see. Yeah, as you can see, these are my builds that I use. I had 2 builds because depending on who I'm working with, these supports may be already used. Like Astaroth uses this and Murasaki uses this, so I have this one instead. So yeah. And now let's go with the evaluation of the character. Now that we have finished with all that, it is pretty easy to see that she's busted. She's great. Not only is she good for farming, thanks to the what's the name? Thanks to Orochi Nagi and Slinging Spree, those two skills are super good for AoE attacks and tracking enemies. She can tackle challenging content super easily because she has damage reduction, she has HP recovery, she has a ton of damage, and she is also a means for your characters to recover HP. And nowadays, if you have progressed through the game and you have the infirmary, it is not as necessary to have a dedicated healer or Felicia or skills that heal you with your characters. But Felicia does enable things. For example, doing Queen Arachne, this is not Queen Arachne, but doing Queen Arachne with Spinel is not viable because Spinel doesn't have HP recovery. So you would have to force yourself to use Emily as well as Shizuru. You have to use both of those with their healing skills, and that's not great. It's just easier to have Felicia inflict the mark, and all the damage that Spinel is going to deal is going to help her heal. So yeah, Felicia is a must-have for anyone who wants to play on VR. She works excellent as a tank, as a debuffer, and as a damage dealer. But, she really like some supporters. And you should try to get them. I think that we haven't had the rerun for Akina, I'm not sure. I don't have the list at hand. We already have the rerun for this one, and it's going to take a while to rerun once more. The same goes for this. You really want Felicia Soul Supporter for her, if possible. So yeah, most of the supporters, the blue supporters that she wants to use, have already rerun and are going to take some time to appear. That goes for Arella too, as you can see. So keep an eye on Akina if she comes back, and all the other blue supporters that are good. Because if you don't have them, you have to rely on Heaviko, basically, along with the specific supporters for damage. And whatever you have available. As I said, blue isn't like the most stacked, but specifically, if you have all the things that came out, they work wonders with Felicia. Sakuya too. Sakuya is really good. So that's about it for today, and I'll be seeing you next time. Bye!